Hello everybody, my name is Ginger, that's Ginger, whatever you would like, and today we are on part 4 of Final Fantasy X Magic Only Run, which is very, very exciting. The rules we've gone over in the 3 previous parts, they will be in the description, I'm not going to flash them up, but for those people who have engaged by liking, by subscribing, by watching, by commenting, I just want to say thank you. I'm trying to do something different each one, and I know this one has taken a very long time to come out with, but this is just because my day job has just been quite taxing recently and has just been draining everything on me, but that's absolutely fine. It's just a busy period. It's starting to teeter off now, which is why I'm slowly getting the energy to do this again, but the engagement and the excitement from you guys is really the thing that has kept this to be fun and interesting and exciting, so thank you so much. I am planning to do other challenge runs or other experimental things with Final Fantasy, but I'm probably going to take a break after this one from Final Fantasy and try something else, or Final Fantasy X at least, and try another one and see where we go. But I just want to say again, it's been a great privilege to have you guys be so animated about this, and it's great to see. So thank you so much. If you have any other ideas, then do let me know. I do want to go. One of the other reasons is because this has been a bit delayed is because this is the first one where I'm not having pre-recorded footage. I've had to go and record it, which has obviously caused a little bit of a delay. But we should be getting towards the very late game here. And yeah, so sorry, I'll shut up in this part anyway. So thank you so much, and I will let's just start the video. Yeah, why not? So the Seymour fight is another one, and he's decided to copy a very popular adult comic series by having a little Morty boy with him. So how this works is the Morty boy will, if you damage it, it has 4,000 HP, and then afterwards it absorbs 4,000, then 3,000, then 2,000, and 1,000. So if you are struggling to do a lot of damage to Seymour, that is one way to do the fight, but for us it's not really plausible. So Tidus, Orin, and Yuna can all talk to Seymour. Yuna's the only one that's actually really useful because she has magic defense increase, whereas the others have attack increase and strength increase, and that's not really what we need. So you can get Yuna to talk, I do, and the multi-Fire, multi-Blizzara, multi-Water, and multi-Thundara come back. However, the null spells are not really that useful. There are occasions where we do use them, and I'll go into that in just a second. But the reason why it's not useful is because Morty Boy will come out and will do a base form, and will copy Final Fantasy X-2 and cast the spell against all of your party members that are in battle. So it kind of gets rid of the null spells before we even start. What that means is, unless there is a gap between, like a space between Morty and Seymour, the null spells are not going to be useful for us in this instance. There is one instance, one or a few maybe, that it is actually useful for us, and we do get that option, and that's because we've casted Haste on Lulu, but it's not consistent, so don't rely on that as a strategy. Shell could be a strategy, but not for us. So we do have 3 healers. We have Yuna, which has got the basic level Cure. We've got Tidus, who's got Cure and Cura, and then we've got Waka, who's got Curaga. So we've got 3 different levels of healing there, which is really, really good. And we did do a damage test, litmus paper test essentially, with Lulu, and she ended up doing 7,000 damage on Seymour. So attacking Morty, the Morty boy, is not really a benefit to us. So eventually, Seymour will cast Protect on himself, and this is where it's showing you he's gone into another phase. And he then favors using the Break spell, which basically just encases people in rock and petrifies them. And then Morty Boy will do Shattering Claw. So if they do that, this isn't a KO, this just gets them removed from the thing, so you only have 2 members of battle. So you do need to make sure that you are quick on healing. If you are doing a magic non-only run, Albed potions would be worth doing there. Stoneproof armor as well would be good, or in Asuna, which is what we ended up doing the majority of the time, just so you can get rid of the petrify thing, so you don't lose a party member. The protect, again, it's not a massive thing for us, so I'm not really concerned. And you do sometimes have Morty Boy attack with Shattering Claw before break even happens. So it's not the best executor's attack. So I said that Lulu obviously is our main damage dealer. We haven't had Yuna for a while, but she does 7,700. Yuna only barely gets into the 4,000s. So there clearly is a huge damage difference there. Whereas Kamari is even lower than that, and he only does around about 3,600. And then in the final phase, Seymour will then start using Flare on your party members, which does a good amount of damage, and Morty will start healing Seymour as well. But he only heals around about 1,000 to 1,500, so it's actually not that much, so you can really just start pouring in the damage, and eventually you will beat and outscale the Morty Boy's healing, and Seymour will be defeated. So first, let's talk about Remium Temple. So the way you get Remium Temple is you fight Belgame in the Calmlands, very much near the agency, and she tells you to go and find her in the abandoned temple. So you train a chocobo to the point where you can start riding it, and then you go right to the start of the Calmlands, and you should see a little yellow feather. While on a chocobo, you just fly over, and then the entrance way is there to Remium Temple. So there's a few things in here that are really, really important. The first thing is if you go to the left-hand side of the temple, you should see like an Albed sphere. Press that and it talks about a race. So we are going to do the race first. So the first thing is you're underground the temple, underneath the temple, and there are loads of rods, and there are 6 treasure chests here. So every time you knock a rod, you lose a treasure chest, and you get a unique reward the first time. You get each number of treasure chests, and if you get the same one, I think you get a potion. Like if you get like 0 chests the second time and win against the other chocobo. So the 0 is Cloudy Mirror, 1 chest is Alexio, 2 chests are Mega Alexia, 3 chests are 30 Wings to Discovery, 4 chests are 30 Pendulums, and 5 chests are 63 stars. So the main thing here is the 3 stars. Because what they do, 23 stars gives you a 1 MP cost. So it does mean that the amount of damage we're going to be doing for Yuna and Lulu is going to be astronomically high when we have that. So 3 stars are a key part of them. So we've then got 3 people we can give 1 MP cost. So Lulu is definitely one of them, as is Yuna. So then the third person can be whoever you want, whether it be Tidus, because you want to get him loads of, well, in my case, Tidus, like loads of magic. Waka, because he's got Curaga. Or you could give it to Riku, because she's starting to get a little bit more elemental. Or Kamari, because he's the like the 3rd highest damage dealer. So whoever you give it to, you've got the option to give it to 3 people. Inside Belgame, inside the temple, you've got access to Belgame and her Aeons, and we will have to fight all of them in order to get the Mars Sigil from Belgame for Yuna's Celestial Weapon. But that's Remium Temple. It's really, really important. The Cloudy Mirror actually gives you access to the Celestial Mirror, and that is important to open all the Celestial Weapon chests, and also to power up all the Celestial Weapons as well. So I'm not going to teach you how to do that. It's in Macalania Woods. But that is everything to do with that. So we have to make sure we get the 3 stars because that's the most important one. So if you are unsure of how to do that, you can watch my full playthrough where we do that. When we're looking at the other things as well, 20 Mega Alexias gives us double AP. So that can be really useful. In terms of Pendulum, and Wings to Discovery, I'm not entirely sure, so I'll just have a quick look. Just bear with me. So Wings to Discovery give, I believe, break HP limit, and also treble AP, I believe. And Pendulum gives Master Thief, so that steals rare items from enemies. Both are useful, but they're not really what we're after because we don't really use overdrives in this one. But yeah, so they're things. But again, 3 stars, 60 of them. Key thing here. So we're getting to the point where we now need to think about the weapons that we possess, because we are going to get to the point where we're not learning any new abilities, and we do have a lot of time where we're not gaining any magic up. So let's look at it this way. So the biggest level ups in magic are in 2 areas. They are in Lulu's grid and Yuna's grid. And that's kind of it. There is ups elsewhere, like there's a few in Tidus's and a few in Riku's and things like that, but they're not really as big. So we are going to get to a point where we are having to use other magic spheres and actually just we're not really going to have much magic up, so we are going to hit kind of like a brick wall. So what we need to do is have a look at how we can perfect our weapons, and one of the ways we can do it is using the monster arena. So you can look at it in 2 ways. One way, yes, I am hurting the enemies to capture them, but 2, I'm only doing it if we are decimating them very quickly. But I like to think of myself as like a humane version of Peter, where I don't hurt the animals where I capture them, and that's how we're going to look at it in this one. So it's that's one of the reasons. The second reason is also because they lock a lot of difficult enemies behind, and I only think it's fair if we kind of start to look at them as challenges as well. I don't know where I was going with that. My brain went foggy. That was fun. And this is the things we will lose if we can completely neglect the monster arena. First of all, we lose the celestial weapon for Yuna, and even if we did have the celestial weapon, we cannot upgrade it with the moon sigil, but which I'm deciding to do that. But the other reasons is because we lose out on 99 stamina tonics, 99 poison fangs, 99 soul springs, 99 candles of life, 99 petrified grenade, 99 chocobo wings, 60 shining gems, 99 shadow gems, 60 far plane winds, 40 silver hourglasses, blossom crown, which is the thing for the Remium temple, 99 lunar curtains, 60 designer wallets, 99 chocobo feathers, 99 stamina springs, 99 mega phoenixes, 60 mana tonics, 99 mana springs, 60 stamina tablets, 60 twin stars, 60 star curtains, 99 golden hourglasses, 99 purifying salts, 99 healing springs, 60 turbo ethers, 99 light curtains, 60 mana tablets, 63 stars, 60 supreme gems, 99 doors to tomorrow, 99 gambler spirits, 99 winning formulas, 99 dark matters, 30 mega elixirs, and 10 master spheres. So we lose a lot of things there, and also we lose out on so many enemies, and I think it's only fair that we try to play around with the monster arena, because I think it would be a bit of fun. So we're not really going to do much now. We do Calmlands, and we do Mount Gargazet, and we use Walker as the main the person who captures, because they can be used in water and on land. We realise that our physical attacks are really low, but again, they are not going to have a huge impact on us. You can make Yuna's celestial weapon by just doing their things, but we're not going to be using the monster arena isn't going to have a huge impact on us. But again, we can go all the way back to the Thunder Plains, but I'm not going to go out on making as many as I can, as early as I can. I will be going around when Walker is a decent amount of strength and just not annihilating everything, so we can just capture everything really quickly and then play around with those. If you want to see it, if you don't, then that's fine. If you do, comment down below. But there could be plans to do it. I've not planned yet, but just let me know. So let's get back to bosses. Where were we? Oh, right, Defender X. So, Defender X hits rough and hits hard. And we're very breakable. We're basically like China. We're pretty to look at. It's quite impressive what they were able to do with it, but we do shatter very easily. So when you've got an enemy that has a lot of HP that is quite magic resistant-ish and hits like a ton of bricks, of course we're going to find a little bit of trouble, but it wasn't that bad. So we do have double cast at this point from Lulu. So when we're playing around with it, she's doing just under 8,000 points of damage. But I wanted to do more. So there is something that we have done before, but not really a huge amount. And it's focus, using focus. So what does focus do? Well, it is basically Chia, but for magic. So it raises magic by 1 and magic defense by 1 each time you use it. So we were doing that a few times, and we got to the point where Lulu was doing about 8,200 points of damage with haste. And at that point, it is just trying to get as many people in to chill on the battlefield, at least for one turn, and defend, so that Lulu can just continue to dominate. And that's basically how we're going to run the rest of the run, at least for a bit. We do get to a point where both 2 out of 3 of our party members die, because again he hits like a ton of bricks, but he does fall eventually quite quickly. Not particularly long of a boss fight. I did think it was going to be worse. And then we head over to Gargazette. So we don't actually, we don't go to the Sunken Cave or the Cavern of the Stolen Faith. We just go straight to Gargazette because we're going to go to the Cavern of the Stolen Faith or Sunken Cave later. So this fight is a really interesting fight mechanically. However, you are guaranteed to win. And the reason why is because Biran and Yankee's stats are based on Kamari's. So they do differ slightly. So Biran's stats, his HP is, it rises in tandem with Kamari's strength and magic. So the more damage you deal, whether that be magic or strength, the higher his HP is. His strength depends on Kamari's HP, so the more HP, the stronger it is. His magic is half of Yankee's magic, and his agility is the same as Kamari's, but -4. Conversely, you do have Yankee Ronso, whose stats, when my thing decides to load there. So his HP rises with Kamari's strength and magic as per the previous one. His strength is half of Biran's strength. His magic rises with Kamari's HP, so he's very much the opposite of Biran there. And his agility is exactly the same. It's Kamari's agility -4. Now Kamari, I did use a white magic sphere to learn haste. The reason why is because then Kamari is able to play around. He's fighting enemies that are very close to his speed, and there's 2 of them, there's only 1 of him. So it calculates it before any buffs like haste or focus go on, or reflex. So using haste just increases the advantage of us. He's got Lancet to heal if necessary, and there's loads of things to steal off them. So you can actually use steal, and I highly advise you do, because you get level 3 key spheres off them, which are incredibly useful. In terms of things that you can learn by Lancet from them, so you could just constantly do overdrive spam if you've not learned any of these. You can learn from Biran Thrust Kick, Mighty Guard, Doom, and Self-Destruct. And from Yankee, you can Acrobat, Fire Breath, Stone Breath, and White Wind. So both really good things to learn, but with White Wind and with Mighty Guard, you can only learn it when they have used it. Again, with magic, it's a lot better than strength, because when you cast magic spell, Biran and Yankee, if they're on the same side, they don't defend each other. Whereas if they're on opposite, if you do a physical attack, one will defend each other and take a lot less damage. In terms of their magic defense, so Biran Ronso has a magic defense of 50 and a defense of 30, so a little bit more magic kind of inclined on there. Yankee Ronso, however, his magic defense is 50, and so same defense of 30, but magic has that advantage, and as Kamari is definitely the third strongest, it's not that much of a difficult fight. Just make sure you learn everything you want, steal as much as you can, and make sure that you still keep healthy with Lancet or potions if you're allowing them in your run, and you should be absolutely golden. There's nothing to worry about here. So the first thing we do in Gagazet is we see Wants, and Wants sells something that's really useful for Lulu, which is the Booster Cactar. It is the most expensive item that you'll probably buy in Final Fantasy X. However, it does have Magic Boost, and what Magic Boost does, a Magic Booster, is it doubles the strength of your elemental attacks, which sounds great. However, it also doubles the cost. So all third tier elementals are all now 32 MP per use. However, we collected the 3 stars from Remium Temple. So, with 1 MP cost on that magic booster weapon, it means that actually Lulu's cost is 2 MP per third elemental spell, which is massively useful. And it's going to be much more useful, as we have learned double cast, going into the Seymour fight. So, Seymour now has 70,000 HP, but has decided that Morty has grown up. He's no longer Morty Boy, he is Morty Orchid. So he's got a plant attached to him.
Hello students, welcome to class!
And Seymour does have the Lance of Astrophy attack. And what this does is it puts zombie on your characters. So any positive effect that would heal or that would like haste then becomes slow. So instead of doing the positive effect, it does the negative effect. So it's really, really useful to just cure them as quick as possible with holy water that you can buy for once. With double cast, this isn't really a difficult fight, and so it can just be ended fairly quickly. Especially with holy and double cast, you can just fly through this fight a lot easier. So I'm not going to spend too long on it, and then we have a big long talk afterwards about it, about things, but it's not a huge one. Yuna and Kamari can increase their magical defense again by doing talk to it, so it's quite a good fight for Yuna to be in, but try and get everyone in there because you do get 10,000 AP from defeating it, and eventually you can make it very easy. He can get poisoned with bio, but it's not really necessary. So let's go through the rest of Mount Gargazet. So now along comes Sanctuary Keeper, and he only has 40,000 HP. And you might be thinking to yourself, wow, that's really, really low. I don't understand why this is such a roadblock for magic-based users. Well, the reason is because his magic defense is insanely high. So let me just grab the magic defense. Should have had this done before? Yeah, probably. Because Seymour had like Seymour Flux, we've just fought at 70,000. But the magic defense on Seymour Flux we've just had is 40, and this one's 100. So we only do around about like 4,500, 5,000 points of damage, depending on who we use. And they are very strong. Or we do Holy and we just do 9999 max. However, like the reason why I don't use Holy consistently for Lulu is because if each one's doing about 5,100, 5,200 points of damage, then thinking about it, that's doing over 10,000. Holy's just shy of that. So if you have a Holy users, feel free to spam that. But for us, it's not necessary. So they do have, they can actually heal themselves fully, which is always the fear of, oh, are we going to do this? And we do have Holy, we do have dual cast, double cast, so we do have chances with Lulu as well having magic booster, and that's the highest damage of 4,000, 5,000. It is with Lulu, so even our strongest one's only doing 5,000. We do have to deal with Curse, and we do have to deal with Confusion, and a whole cacophony of other status effects. But it's not a particularly long fight, which is very much how most of fights go with Lulu. But it's not a particularly long fight. It's just, it is a bit close. So let's just see how Unalesca now treats us. Fun fact, that was just me laughing. This fight strikes the fear of life into me. And I'm not entirely sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. So this is the... This fight is the worst thing that's happened to this game. Honestly, it's the bane of my existence. And this is the Spectral Keeper. So the Spectral Keeper has 52,000 HP, and every time you attack it, it attacks the 3 Glimp? Yeah, Glimp fields in front of it. Every single time. So the one where it's facing, and then the one to the left and right on that. And it does do quite a lot of damage. And then occasionally it will do Berserk Tail, and it will force this person to keep on attacking. Now, if they attack and do do connect, this does not invalidate our rules because we can't always help that. But if you've got protective gear, that may be helpful against Berserk. It will also do Glymph Mines, which will just randomly explode, and we do quite good damage to it. But it's just that it's a lot, and it does move around a lot and face different things. So you've constantly got to keep changing where you are. But a really, really horrific fight. Hated this with a passion. You can't I think the best thing to do is space them out, so there's always a spare Glimp field aside of it in between your characters, so only 2 are going to get a hit. And Protect will help. I mean, it didn't help in the last one, and you've just kind of got to be lucky with this fight, which is not great. Yuna does quite a bit of damage, as does Lulu. Obviously, Lulu does probably maximum at this point, and it's just really, really important to make sure that you keep healthy. So having a good healer, so in my case Tidus or Walker around, will really just elevate your ability to navigate this fight. 52,000 HP. really going to be around a lot. Luckily, Lulu and Yuna both have 1 MP cost, so we can fight the longer fights. But yeah, this is horrific, and I despise this fight with every being of my body. So the fight that scared me to death as a child, excited me, but like I was always petrified of this because I died quite spectacularly. This is the fight with Unalaska. So Lulu is doing just shy of maximum damage, just with normal elemental spells. So Yuna is doing maximum with the Holy. But Lulu is doing over like 9,300 with normal spells. So when she's doing dual cast, she's doing a lot more damage. Now, every time you do a physical attack, not that it's going to be in this run, every time you do a physical attack on Unalaska, you'll get darkness put on you. And every time you do a magical attack, you will get silence put upon you. Unfortunately, though, that's not going to be great. You can't actually ever get overkill on Unalaska because you need to do 10,000 points of damage, and we just don't have the ability to do more than 9,999. But you also get... she also can do normal attacks as well. That do not much damage, about 300, 400. But the magical damage that Yuna and Lulu is doing really makes stage 1 so simple. Stage 2, the first attack is always Hellbiter, which turns everyone in your active party into zombies. And then Unalaska will periodically heal or cast regen on someone in your team as well, so they continually take damage. I don't know if she can do full life or life, but I know that she can definitely do that. She does have piercing as well in the weapons that she does, so it doesn't matter if you've got protect, it really doesn't make that much of a difference. It makes some difference, but not that much. So you just constantly have to weigh up having people in your party with Hellbiter, but also people in your party that are zombified, and people that aren't in your party that are in your party that aren't zombified. So if she does heal, it's only affecting some of the people, and if they do die, then you do have to resurrect them. Stage 2 doesn't really cause much damage, much worry either. We are doing tons of damage. It's just making sure that everyone gets a turn in before we go through the 3 forms. And then the final form, the third form, Unalaska casts Megadeath. Now, Megadeath is quite interesting because it kills everyone that isn't already a zombie. So you have to make sure you have people in there. And she will regularly cast Megadeath, Hellbiter, and cast powerful healing spells and regen on party members all the way through. So you just have to make sure that you are constantly having people in your party that are zombified, that aren't zombified, and also that that can still deal damage. And eventually you will defeat her. She does have more HP each time. She goes from 24,000 to 48,000 to a respectable 60,000 HP. Each becoming more grotesque each time, very much a Final Fantasy boss. But you will end up killing Unalaska we do have very strong party members with Lulu and Yuna, so just making sure that you've got either silence equipment beforehand, silence prevention equipment, or just making sure that you can constantly remove that debuff, and you will find that Yunalesca falls fairly quickly in comparison to if it was doing a non-magic build, I find, but that's just me. So now the world has opened up to us, we are in prime position to do a lot more damage and escalate our build to higher levels. We are going to do a quick whistle-stop tour of what I did, and I may or may not have footage of all of them. So I dodged 200 lightning bolts in the Thunder Plains to get the Venus sigil. I also did the Valley of the Cactus to get the Mercury sigil. I know that in the international version they switched around, but essentially it's the same. We also got the Sunuba Sands sword, which is double AP. It's in the Sunuba Sands for Tidus. We got Barge Temple unlocked, and we also got the Murasame weapon for Oren for the 1 MP cost. We also went on the SS Winnow and guessed the correct number of goals to get Waka, a weapon that increases magic by 38%. We also bought the Tetra, I believe it's the Tetra Bangle from Once. We visited all the temples that we could, excluding Besaid and Marcolania, and got loads of things there. And we humanely captured all the animals in Calmlands and the Mountain Guard Gazette. We also went to the Cavern of the Stolen Faith and gained Yojimbo. We then fought in Barge Temple and gained the Onion Knight and also Anima. Then we went to the Remium Temple and got the Mega Sisters and defeated Belgamet. We fully upgraded Yuna Celestial Weapon and Lulu Celestial Weapon, and we also got God Hand when we searched it in the airship passwords for Riku. So we've got 3 Celestial Weapons, and we also leveled up a bit and tested kind of the waters in the Amogi Ruins, and it was very successful on there. We did try seeing if we could defeat Dark Veil Fort, and we got destroyed very quickly and very embarrassingly, so we didn't do that well on that one. But we did quite a lot of things, mainly just to level up our build. So now we've got the Celestial Weapon for Yuna and Lulu, which is break damage limit when that's what they were hitting, and then we got the didn't do that. We did this later, but we'll do it now because it makes sense. We made sure that we were getting the eaters of fire, water, lightning, and ice on a ring or a bangle for Lulu and for Yuna. Riku had Victorious, and that kind of gave immunity for them, but we needed Eater or immunity for a boss that is coming up soon. But first, let's fight Sin. The final showdown with Sin means that we have to clip its wings. So we attack the fins first, and we make very quick work of this. Lulu is doing 30k damage with a holy, so we overkill both of the fins. When it comes to the core and the Sinspawn in front of it, this was a little bit difficult. The Sinspawn died instantly, but the core only was taking around about 13,000 from Ultima, which still is a lot. You know, it's more than we were able to do before. But it's just yeah, it was just, considering it's got 36,000 HP, it's difficult to do. We were able to kill it, get an overkill on it, so that's always good. An overkill on both wings, but this didn't take long at all to do, so very, very quick fight here for this one. So we move on to the next. Was that a 3 boss fight? Yeah, it was. And on to the head next. How's your head, Sin? Hasn't had any complaints. So this is a fight that is almost like geared to magic at the start. Sin slowly moves towards you, so he's out of physical attack range, but we can still do magical attacks to him at any range. So Ultima and Holy just decimate Sin's head. Has got slightly higher magic defense than his wings did, his fins did, but is still very weak to both Holy and also Ultima. And that's what we're really focusing on doing, just dealing that damage. We have to kill it before its overdrive gets full, but with the amount of damage that Lulu and Luna are doing, I'm not really concerned about that. It mainly is just we need to try and just get everyone so they're in the fight for at least one turn. We do get to a point where Sin can zombie you, and he does. He can also confuse you with his attacks, but he never does that to us. But it is, again, a really nice, easy boss fight, nice and quick, which just allows us to get an overkill on it and head on in. Next is Seymour, and this fight is a genuine joke. As long as you have strong attackers, which we do, with Lulu, Yuna, and Tidus actually, and also have bangles that, or accessories that either eat or make you immune to all the elements, this fight is a genuine joke. So I grinded for them so we could get all the things, and I actually defeated I've defeated Seymour before I even let everyone had a chance to be part of the combat. That's how quick this fight went. It's a genuine joke. When he cannot deal any damage to you, heals you by just giving you elemental damage, and we just deal tons and tons of damage to him. I'm not even going to carry this on. Let's just go and fight final bosses, shall we? Braska's final Aeon has some challenges of itself. So, for example, it has quite high magic defense, and its physical attacks, even when defending, are quite a lot. But because we are massively overpowered, we are still doing Lulu's doing about 20,000 per Ultima, so she's doing 40,000 each, so we really can whittle them down, so we don't really experience that bad of an effect from Braska's final Aeon. It is still quite an easy fight, but it has some challenges. So when it has quite high magic defense, from what I've seen anyway, and from experiencing it, so it is something that we try to have to deal with. But the benefit of using Ultima rather than Flare is because it gets rid of the pagodas each single time. So what these do is they can actually put quite nasty effects on you and do Amus or heal the HP of Braska's final Aeon. So getting rid of them with Ultima every single time, it just decimates them, really does help in making the fight a lot smoother than it needs to be. We never really experienced the overdrive or experienced particularly damaging attacks from Braska's final Aeon. I never felt unnerved in this fight, but we do have auto life at this point anyway, so if necessary, we can just cast auto life on people so we never actually officially die. But yeah, it is a really, really interesting fight, but a lot slower than I thought it would be. So now it is the final sending of all the Aeons, where we have to defeat them, but we are given auto life permanently. So these aren't difficult at all. For where we are on the power grid, the power leveling grid, it's nowhere near where any of these are going to cause a problem. We do die once because Bahamut just decides, which is the most story significant Aeon, so I do find it quite funny. As is Veilful. Anyway, as is Ifrit, because she's Unisums. Anyway, we do defeat them one by one, including Yojimbo, Anima, and the Mega Sisters. And they are all, they get, Yevon goes in and poisons them. And Bahamut does kill us by doing Impulse randomly, but we defeat them all with ease, and then we have the Amoeba, which is Yevon. And he doesn't really have a health pool, but it's very quick to get rid of him as well. And then we have beat the game. I had to skip the final cutscenes because they went green, but yeah, we've beaten it. Well, that was my longest one yet, but we did it. We proved that you can beat Final Fantasy X, apart from Crawler, with magic, with magic only. So that was a different run, something I've never really done before. Really enjoyed it. Again, the idea behind it was Dan's Great, which I've linked down in the bit video. I highly advise you do that. I have already planned a script for another run. Not with Final Fantasy X, with a different one. And I've got another idea as well later down the line for Final Fantasy XII. But for now, I think I need to leave Final Fantasy X alone for a bit, just so I can play around with the other ones. But yeah, thank you again for everyone that's participated, that has enjoyed it, that has interacted with it, liked, commented, watched the video. You know, it's been really enjoyable to have that interaction from you guys. And if there's another run you're thinking of me doing later down the line, let me know. Someone has already commented a Charlie's Angels run in Final Fantasy X, so I will be looking at doing that later. But for now, I feel as though I need a little bit of a break from Final Fantasy X because I'm sick of editing the Final Fantasy X ones. But we've got exciting things. I've written a script for the next run, so that is going to be out. We're not going to do the individual long episodes, which I will upload those later for Final Fantasy X one. They are just going to be the pure edited version, just to make it a little bit easier for everybody to keep up, because I noticed there was some confusion, so it's just to eradicate that. But also it means that I can do other things like watch TV shows or movies, or listen to music while I'm doing it, and not having to concentrate on commentating and playing the game with the challenge and etc. So it's exciting. I'm ready for it. I'm excited. But yeah, again, for the last time for this series, the edited one anyway, I'm going to say that my name has been That One Dude. You've been watching me do Final Fantasy X Magic Only. If you enjoyed, I'm so glad you did. Hopefully I will see you in the next one. Also, let me know down below if you want me to do the Monster Arena, capture all the things from Monster Arena and do all of those, try the Dark Aeons, and also Omega Ruins. Let me know if you're interested, and I'll happily do those. But we will need to grind heavily, so just give me some time. But yeah, again, really appreciate you, love you, have a great day, and I'll see you in another one. Bye guys.